Friends, I just wanted to jump on here and read our story, Junie B. Jones, Dumb Bunny, that we've been reading in class. I'm sure you guys have been wondering what happened with Junie B. So just to refresh your memories, the last time we checked in with Junie B, she was already at Lucille's fancy Easter party, and we know that there was a special egg contest where they had to find an egg. I think it was a golden egg, and whoever found it would get a special play date with Lucille. And this was so important to all the kids because Lucille has a very cool swimming pool that all the kids want to swim in. So you know that Junie B has some competition. May really wants to win the egg hunt, and so does Sheldon. So there is some competition. So I'm gonna pick up where we left off. We are on chapter 5. It's called The Jelly Bean Game. Okay, so I'm just going to get started and read. Lucille's daddy clapped his hands together real loud. Boys and girls, please find a seat at one of the picnic tables. Lunch will be served shortly, he called. I waited to see where Sheldon was going to sit. May waited too, because both of us had to keep track of that guy, of course. Only too bad for me, because as soon as Sheldon picked a table, Lucille sat down next to him, and vroom, May slid in on his other side. And I got shut out. Wait, hold it, no fair, I said. Then I tried to squeeze myself between May and Sheldon, but May would not budge herself. I did a grrr face at her. May hissed like a snake. I stood there very puzzled. I do not actually have a comeback for a hiss. Finally, I went to the other side of the table, and I sat down across from them. That dumb May, I grumped to just myself. She keeps getting one step ahead of me today. Plus, Sheldon is one step ahead of me, too. I looked across the table. Lucille was whispering to Sheldon very secret. May leaned her head over, and she listened through Sheldon's other ear. Whispers can come right through Sheldon's head, apparently. I put my chin in my hands. I don't stand a chance in this stupid egg hunt, I said to Herb. He gave me a little pat. Sometimes a little pat is all a friend can do. Only guess what? Just then, something very nice happened. And it's called Lucille's Nana walked over to where I was sitting, and she sat in a chair at the end of my table. I jumped up real thrilled. Nana, look, it's me, it's Junie B. Jones, and you are sitting right exactly next to me, I shouted. The Nana glanced her eyes at Lucille's mother and daddy. Yes, I know, dear. I lost the twin cost, she said, kind of annoyed. I sat back down and tickled her arm. This reminds me of when we ate dinner together last year, I said. That was very fun, except I accidentally broke your crystal glass. Remember that, Nana? Huh? Do you? The Nana nodded. Oh, yes, I remember, she said. I thought back. Plus, I accidentally busted your feather pillow, and if I'm not mistaken, I spilled beanie weenies on your expensive linen tablecloth, I said. The Nana looked at me. You're not mistaken, she said back. I smiled and patted her real soft. Good times, I said. May heard me talking. Well, Lucille and I are going to have good times too. Right, Lucille? When I come to swim in your pool, that will be really good times, she said. Sheldon looked at her and grinned. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, May, he said. The Nana did a little chuckle. I think you mean hatched, dear. It's don't count your chickens before they're hatched, not hashed, she said. Sheldon raised his eyebrows. Really? Are you sure? Because at our house, my Aunt Bunny brings chicken hash for dinner every Sunday, he said. Chicken hash is her specialty. He smiled real proud. Aunt Bunny was a chef in prison, he said. The Nana's face went funny. She lowered her head to the table and she rested her cheek on her napkin. I leaned my face down next to her. Speaking of bunnies, Lucille said the Easter Bunny would be here today, only I haven't actually seen him yet. And so, where is he anyway, huh, Nana? I asked. Lucille did a huff at me. Huh, nosy Junie B. Jones, why did you have to ask that question? She said. My Nana does not want to talk about that, do you, Nana? You made a teensy little mistake about the bunny, and you don't want anyone to know about how you almost ruined the party. The Nana did a groan. Ugh. Lucille kept on talking. My Nana was in charge of hiring the Easter Bunny, only instead of hiring the real Easter Bunny, she hired a cheap, fake Easter Bunny. Right, Nana? The Nana did not reply. So Lucille went on. The fake bunny came to our house to get his pay yesterday, only his fur was real matted and the top of his ear was chewed off. But he told my Nana that he freshened up nicely, and so Nana gave him cash money in advance, and then he hopped out the front door and he never came back. The Nana raised her head. Thank you, Lucille, she said. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. "You're welcome, Nana," said Lucille, very pleasant. "You're welcome." The Nana rolled her eyes. Lucille does not understand sarcasm, I believe. Just then, Lucille's daddy stood up at his picnic table and he said it was time to get this show on the road. He held up a silver bell and rang it in the air. Ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling. Then boom! Waiters started bringing food from all over the place, and it was the deliciousest food I ever saw. There were barbecued hamburgers and tasty hot dogs and crispy chicken fingers and crunchy salad and yummy potato chips and Swedish pickles. Plus, there were even delicious, devilish eggs. "Whoa, what a spread," I said. I stuffed the devilish egg in my mouth. Also, I stuffed in a pickle and some chips and a giant chicken finger. I didn't stop stuffing for a real long time. Then finally I leaned back and I rubbed my big full tummy. "Woo, I'm about to bust a gusset," I said. "Are you, Nana, huh? Are you about to bust a gusset too?" The Nana frowned her eyebrows. "Ladies don't bust gussets, Junie B," she said. I was surprised to hear that information. "Really?" I said. "Then what do ladies bust?" Roger raised his hand. "At our house, we bust our guts," he said. Herb smiled. "At our house, we bust our buttons," he said. Sheldon stood up. "At our house, we just unzip our pants," he said. After that, everyone at our table laughed and laughed, except for not Nana. Finally, all of us got finished eating, and the waiters took our plates away. Then, wowie, wow, wow, Lucille's daddy brought out the most beautiful box I ever saw. It was wrapped in shiny yellow paper with twirly, curly ribbons. He held it way high in the air so all of us could see. "Whoa, whose birthday is it?" I shouted, real excited. Lucille jumped up and giggled. "That's not a birthday present, Junie B. It's a game prize," she said. "Before we hunt for eggs, we're going to play a very fun game, and whoever wins that prize will get the thrill of a lifetime. Right, Daddy?" The daddy smiled. "Well, we certainly hope the winner will be thrilled," he said. "It's a pretty good prize, we think." Just then, he put down the box and he pulled a big jar of jelly beans out of a paper bag. "This game is called the jelly bean game," he said. "Can everyone see all the jelly beans in the jar? We've got lots of colors, don't we? We've got reds and yellows and blues and blacks and greens and oranges and whites." He stopped and held up his finger. "But," he said, "in this whole big jar of jelly beans, there is just one purple one." All of us made a hushy sound. "Ooh," we said together. "Just one purple." The daddy smiled. Then he put the jar back in the bag so we couldn't see the colors anymore. "Okay, now I'm going to walk around to each picnic table and each of you will have a chance to reach in the jar and pull out a jelly bean," he said. "But remember, you may only pull out one, okay?" "Okay," we hollered. Lucille hurried over and held up the beautiful box. "And remember this, too. The first person to pull out the purple jelly bean will get this prize," she said. "The thrill of a lifetime." All of us clapped and clapped. Then we bounced and giggled and wiggled and clapped, and we waited for the jelly bean jar to come to us. It was the nervousest wait of my life, I think. Because what if someone got the purple jelly bean before I even got my turn? That would ruin my whole entire chance. I put my hands in front of my eyes. Then I peeked through my fingers, and I watched the children pick. Roger's table went first. He picked a red bean. Then Camille picked an orange bean, and Chenille picked a green, and Shirley picked a blue. My table came next. My heart beat faster. Jose picked a yellow bean. Then Lenny picked white, and May picked another white, and Sheldon picked a black. And then, at last, it was time for me. My heart was pounding like crazy. I bent over and did some deep breathing. The daddy held out the bag to me. I breathed some more. "Okay, Junie B," he said. "Any time now." I stood up and did a gulp. Then, very slowly, I reached my hand inside the bag, and I felt all around for purple. I wrinkled my eyebrows real curious. What does purple feel like, I wonder?" I said to just myself. The daddy said, "Please hurry up." I swished my fingers through the jar some more, then all of a sudden, I felt it, I tell you. I felt purple. It felt roundish and beanish and purplish. I grabbed onto it real tight, then I quick pulled my hand out of the jar, and I opened up my fingers, and guess what? Guess what? Guess what? And that is the end of the chapter, friends. All right, so hopefully I can come on and do this again for the next chapter. Have a good night.